Kill weeds fast and stop them for good. Today, I'm going to walk you through a complete 4-step process to do exactly that. And here's the thing you need to understand right up front. Most weed killers only get you part of the way there. They burn the top and quit. But by the time we finish these 4 steps, you're going to know exactly which method to use for every kind of weed in your yard. And one of these steps is going to keep those weeds gone for up to 1 full year. So follow along step by step, because the order matters and the reasons behind each step matter even more. Let's go. Before we get into the process, let me tell you the objective, plain and simple. We want to kill weeds fast, and we want them to stay dead. That's it. Every step I'm about to show you is built to move you closer to that goal. We're going to start cheap and easy, and with each step, we're going to level up the strength, the staying power, and the results. By the end, you'll have a full toolkit, and you'll know the exact situation each one is made for, because not all weeds are the same. Some of these little guys give up the moment you spray them, and some of them, the mature ones with deep, stubborn roots, are going to fight you the whole way. So let's build this up the right way, one step at a time. Step 1 is the cheapest, easiest way to knock down weeds fast, and that's 30% vinegar. This right here is 30% vinegar by Harris. We bought this at Home Depot, but you can also grab it on Amazon for about $17. Now this stuff is strong. It's very concentrated. It's a much higher percentage of vinegar than what you'd buy at the grocery store, which is usually only about 5%. This right here is 30%. So just from that number alone, you already know this is potent. This is not the vinegar you're putting on your salad. This is the vinegar you're using to go to war with your weeds. Let me walk you through how to set it up, because the setup is part of the process. Get yourself a spray bottle. You know how I like my Z bottles, but honestly, any spray bottle will do the job. Fill it all the way up, or if you've got a bigger area to cover, get yourself a little pump-up sprayer and pour it in there instead. It's super easy to use, and the best part is you can be very precise with your application and control exactly where it goes. And that precision is critical with this stuff, because as you're about to find out, this vinegar doesn't care what it lands on. It'll kill anything green, so you've got to aim. Woo, it's strong. Can you smell that? You really do need to be careful when you're handling this, because it has a very strong odor. Now, they actually make a 45% vinegar, and that stuff is downright toxic. You do not want to be breathing any of that in. So for this process, the 30% is the sweet spot, strong enough to do serious damage, but not so strong it knocks you off your feet. Now, here's the part of step 1 that makes all the difference. You want to add a couple tablespoons of Dawn dishwashing soap to that vinegar. You can use any dish soap you like. We just happen to have Dawn on hand. Put about a couple tablespoons in there. You don't have to be exact. So why do we add dish soap? Here's the reason. This soap acts as what we call a surfactant. A surfactant helps the vinegar stick right onto the weed, and if it sticks to the weed instead of running off, then it kills that weed a whole lot faster. Think about it this way. If you spray a plant and the liquid just beads up and rolls right off those waxy leaves, you're wasting product and you're not getting results. But when you add this soap, it breaks that surface tension and makes the vinegar cling to every part of the plant. So always add a little soap so the vinegar grabs on and holds tight. That one small addition is the difference between a spray that works and a spray that slides right off. Now, before we put it out, understand this. This is a non-selective herbicide. That means it will kill anything and everything that's green. It doesn't know the difference between a weed and your prize rosebush, so you've got to be careful where you spray. Shake it up good to get that soap mixed in, and let's put step 1 to work. Let's hit a couple weeds in these flower beds. See this one right here? Watch. That's not going to take long at all. That thing is going to be dead before you know it. Now, how does the vinegar actually kill it? The vinegar dries out the plant, and it also prevents photosynthesis from taking place. It burns it up really good, and especially when the weeds are this small, it works fast. The problem comes with really mature weeds. That's where it becomes a challenge, because it's tough to get all the way down to the root. But for these smaller weeds right here, step 1 is perfect. Let's go kill a couple more in the driveway. There's some right here. Look at that. See that one? Oh yeah, you can already smell it working, and that's all it takes. Now watch how it's already sticking to the plant. That soap is doing its job, making the vinegar cling right onto that leaf. See that grass right there? Same thing. It's holding on instead of running off. That's step 1 done. Cheap, fast, and easy. But here's the limitation, and it leads us straight into step 2. Plain vinegar mostly gives you a quick burn on top. It doesn't always travel down to the root, and if the root survives, those weeds come right back on you, so we need to fix that. Step 2 is where we level up that same vinegar to make it last longer and reach deeper, and the way we do that is with one simple ingredient you've already got in your kitchen: salt. That's it. All you do is add a half a cup of salt to that 30% vinegar mix. Get yourself a little measuring cup, pour in half a cup, and let's level up. Now, a couple things about the salt. Some folks like to use pool salt or rock salt, but honestly, that stuff takes way too long to dissolve and you don't need it. All you need is regular table salt. Half a cup and you're good. And here's a key part of the process. Sometimes you've got to let this mixture blend up really good. Otherwise, it'll clog up inside your sprayer and give you fits. So mix it up thoroughly before you spray, and then watch what happens. So what does the salt actually do in this step? The salt dries out the plant all the way down to its root. Remember, the vinegar gives you that burn on top, but the salt gets down into the root zone and sterilizes that part of the soil. That's the 1-2 punch. Vinegar burns the top, salt kills the bottom. Now, because it sterilizes the soil, you've got to be careful where you put it. That spot in the ground is going to stay sterilized for a length of time, so nothing's going to grow there for a while. That makes step 2 perfect for driveway cracks, gravel areas, and fence lines, places where you want nothing growing at all. But you would not use this right up against your good plants or in a bed you plan to replant. So the rule for step 2 is this: if you want something still relatively safe and you want it to last a little longer than plain vinegar, add the salt. It's perfect for areas just like this. Look at that. The salt's getting down in there. The vinegar's burning up the top, and the salt's going to keep it from coming back for a while. How long does step 2 last? Probably around 30 days or less. You're not going to get much longer than that, and it all depends on the weather. If you're getting a lot of rain, that rain dilutes the salt and washes it away, and you'll have to reapply more often. That's just the nature of salt. It dissolves, and water moves it around. Let's try this grass area right here. Get this little section. Look at that grass soaking it up. That right there is torpedo grass. Everybody hates torpedo grass, and for good reason. It spreads like crazy, and it's stubborn as can be. Let's hit a few more spots. Oh, that's a good one right there. Definitely soaking it up. So now we've done step 1 and step 2. We can knock down small weeds fast, and we can make them stay gone for about a month in the right spots. But here's the honest truth. For big, tough, mature weeds and thick grass, vinegar and salt just aren't going to cut it all the way. They don't reach deep enough into a serious root system. That's exactly why we move on to step 3. Step 3 is where we bring out the heavy hitter for hard-to-kill weeds. And this is it. It's not vinegar, it's not salt, it's RM18. We got this at Tractor Supply, but you can also grab it on Amazon, and I'll drop a link in the description below. It runs about $43 a gallon. This stuff is on a completely different level than what we've been using. Here's what makes step 3 so powerful. RM18 contains glyphosate, and glyphosate is a systemic herbicide. That word systemic is the whole key. So let me break it down. Unlike vinegar, which just burns whatever it touches on the surface, glyphosate gets absorbed into the plant and travels all the way down through the entire system, right into the root. It kills the plant from the inside out. So instead of just scorching the top and leaving the root alive to grow back, this hunts down the root and shuts the whole thing down for good. That's why step 3 is your answer when you've got hard-to-kill weeds and a lot of them. Now, here's how you make step 3 even stronger. You can add Diquat to that RM18. Diquat gives you a fast burn, that quick knockdown where you see results in just a few hours, so you get the best of both worlds. The glyphosate goes deep and kills the root over the next several days, and the Diquat gives you that satisfying fast burn up front, so you know it's working right away. That combination is tough to beat when you're dealing with a whole mess of stubborn weeds. You know that big old bush in the backyard? We're going to smoke it with this stuff. There's weeds over in that driveway too. We're going to knock them all out and make sure they don't come back. You can already see the earlier stuff starting to lose color, and it's only been about an hour. Let me show you step 3 along this fence line. See all these little weeds coming up? There's nothing I hate more than weeding a fence line. I mean it. So this is exactly the kind of job this product was made for. Straight up killer, baby. Look how big that one is. We're going to kill it dead. See all these vines right here? This is going to wipe them out. Now, you've got to watch out for the wind with this stuff. You do not want it drifting back onto you or onto plants you want to keep. So always check which way the breeze is going before you pull that trigger. That's part of doing step 3 the right way. Now let's spray this fence line good, because we want bare ground here. No weeds growing up along it at all. I don't know a single soul who enjoys weed eating a fence line. If you love running a weed eater, more power to you, but I sure don't. These sticker bushes right here are very hard to kill, but not for this stuff. It's going to knock them right out. And that brings us to step 4, the final step, the one I've been building up to this whole time. This is the step that takes you from killing weeds to keeping the ground bare for up to a full year. This right here is RM43. This is total vegetation control. Here's what separates step 4 from everything else. RM43 has glyphosate in it, just like the RM18, but it also has imazapyr, and that second ingredient is the secret weapon. Imazapyr is what we call a soil-active residual herbicide. That means once it's in the ground, it stays active in that soil and stops new weeds from ever getting established. So it's not just killing what's there today, it's laying down a barrier that keeps that ground bare for up to a full year. That's the difference between spraying every single month and spraying one time and being done with it. But because it stays active in the soil that long, step 4 comes with a serious warning. Do not, and I mean do not, apply this anywhere you ever want something to grow. Don't use it near trees you care about, near your garden, near flower beds, anywhere the roots of your good plants might reach. This is strictly for gravel driveways, fence lines, cracks in the concrete, and areas where you want nothing but bare dirt. Use it in the right spot and it's a miracle worker. Use it in the wrong spot and you'll be regretting it for a whole year. So for step 4, we sprayed this entire gravel driveway with all its weeds using the RM43. We also hit this fence line, the fence line around back, and that big bush, and now we let it work. We're going to come back in 4 days and see the results of all 4 steps. I can't wait to show you everything we killed. Look at that one already. Was that the salt and vinegar? It's already broke off, and it's maybe been 30 minutes. That thing is burned up and losing color fast. I bet in 4 days, these are all going to be smoked. Okay, the results are in, and I know I said 4 days, but the truth is, it's only been 3, and honestly, we could have shown you this in 2. That's how fast this process works. We got some awesome results, so let's go through them step by step in the same order we sprayed. Here's step 1, the first weed we hit with 30% vinegar and soap. Look at that thing, totally toast. Let's pull it apart. Yeah, that's dead. It dried it out like it was nothing. Matter of fact, later the same day, it was already turning brown. That quick. Now let me pull the root and see. Oh, it broke off right in the ground. Looks pretty dead to me. Now, sometimes step 1 doesn't reach all the way to the root, but with these small weeds, it does the job just fine. Here's another step 1 spot. Toasted that grass. But this bigger grass is harder to kill completely than the tiny weeds were, and sure enough, that root is still down in there, so that one might grow back, and that's the honest limitation of plain vinegar, which is exactly why we built the process past it. Over here we had those small weeds. Yep, toast. So for small weeds in your flower beds, step 1 is a solid choice. This one still has a little green though. That's torpedo grass. It'll come back. But that tiny one next to it didn't stand a chance. Now let's check step 2, the vinegar, soap, and salt combo. We sprayed some in this crack. Holy smokes! That got smoked out. It just about evaporated. Look at that grass. I hate when weeds come up in the middle of the driveway. It's so aggravating, and this mix took care of it. Here's another spot where I sprayed real close to the good grass without harming it, because I was careful. That weed smoked. The good stuff stayed fine. Step 2 is perfect for little weeds and grass in your sidewalk. Dead, dead, dead. Now let's look at step 3, the RM18 with glyphosate and Diquat for the hard-to-kill weeds. Check this out. Look how orange and dead everything is compared to the green grass around it. It smoked it. And look right here, left of the ditch. We had a little overspray from the wind. That's exactly why you've got to be careful, because wherever it lands, it's going to die. That RM18 is powerful stuff. And now step 4, the RM43, the one that keeps the ground bare for a full year. Remember, we sprayed this whole gravel driveway, this fence line, and the fence line in the back. Let's see. All these weeds are smoked. Look at that. Remember that little bush, no green in it at all. It's practically disintegrated. And now the big one, that bush in the back. Holy smokes, look at that thing. The leaves crunch right up in your hand. It is so dead. All those vines that were growing up over here, gone. Now these big bushes and thick vines, the vinegar and salt would never touch them. Step 4 is your go-to for hard brush and weeds just like this. I love this product. Let's walk through here. All of it is dead. All of it is gone. Check out this fence line. No more crazy vines all over it. And this torpedo grass, the stuff everybody hates, the RM43 wiped it out, and it's going to keep it gone for a year. So let me tie the whole process together for you. Step 1, 30% vinegar and soap for small weeds in your flower beds. Step 2, add salt to that vinegar for driveway cracks and gravel where you want it to last a month or so. Step 3, RM18 with glyphosate, plus Diquat for a fast burn when you've got a lot of tough weeds and you need to kill the root. And step 4, RM43 for total vegetation control. One spray that keeps bare ground weed-free for up to a full year. Just be careful where you put it. Follow those 4 steps in order, and you can handle any weed problem your yard throws at you. If you've got a homemade weed killer recipe you swear by, drop it in the comments below. I always want to hear from you, and if there's a video you'd like us to make, put that in the comments too, and we'll do our best to make it happen. So there you have it, a complete 4-step process to kill weeds fast, and one of those steps will keep them gone for up to 1 whole year. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all of your amazing comments, and as always, God bless.